Run.
Hello world, and welcome to Post Credits Commentary, a podcast where we make commentary post-credits.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Allison.
Join us weekly as we give you our unfiltered opinions and hottest takes on recently watched films.
And spoiler alert, there will be spoilers.
Grab your popcorn, silence your phones, and let's roll the tape. Welcome back, everybody, to this week's episode of Post Credits Commentary. This week, we will be diving into the newest installment of the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World series with Jurassic World Rebirth. This film, the seventh film in the series, follows a previous ex-military covert operative, Zora Bennett, played by Scarlett Johansson, goes to one of the islands from the original Jurassic Park, the third island, with a group of people as they try to gather biomaterial samples from some dinosaurs, the three largest prehistoric specimens, to help Martin Krebs, an executive at a pharmaceutical company, make a medicine and sell it at a high price. Yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Allison, how did you feel about this movie?
Not the worst, not the best.
I agree. This movie is pretty okay. It's super frustrating throughout most of the movie, actually. Characters do stupid things. Stupid things just happen. It's so frustrating. But I think there is some cool things in here. There are some cool things in here that I think Gareth Edwards did well, the director. But overall, I think it really kind of falls flat as a movie as a whole.
And I will say, I'm not, the biggest, Jurassic Park franchise fan. Not that I don't like it, it's just never, a big thing for me. So I don't know if maybe that affects my opinion.
Well, you ready to dive in?
Yeah, let's go.
Alright, so the movie opens about, 5 years before the events of this movie? 7 years? 17 years? Doesn't matter.
I think it's 5.
It's before the events of this movie, and essentially there's this bunker, and everybody's all sanitary, and there's very distinct rules that everyone has to follow. You can tell it's very controlled. One dude is eating a Snickers bar, and he drops the wrapper, and when they open up this heavy-duty door, meant to obviously keep something big and powerful on the other side, the bar gets sucked into the door.
Yeah, the wrapper goes into, this little vent thing that's part of the door, and ends up making the door malfunction.
And not just the door, every single security protocol in the entire building. So already, I'm mad. I'm so angry. We're less than 5 minutes into the movie. I literally wrote in my notebooks, absolutely absurd way to start this movie. So then, this thing called the Distortus Rex,
a.k.a. the D-Rex.
The D-Rex escapes. And he is he's ugly.
Yeah, one might say distorted.
Yeah, he looks nothing like a T-Rex. He has a bajillion legs.
He has some weird legs. His head looks like a beluga whale.
It does.
Yeah.
And he eats the dude who deserved it, because he let this all happen. And
chaos unfolds as all these people are like, oh my gosh, he's loose, I guess.
And then we move to current day, where we get a little bit of some backstory from this is a sequel to Jurassic World Dominion, in that the dinosaurs are still living out with humans, but most of the Earth is not habitable for dinosaurs anymore.
Yeah, basically they're saying the dinosaurs are that are still there are around the equator, I guess, saying that the rest of the Earth is not warm enough for them.
Yeah. But we still do have a scene where we're introduced to Martin Krebs. He's the first character we're introduced to. As I said in the quick summary, he is a pharmaceutical company executive who he doesn't really seem to be vibing with the dinosaurs. There's a dinosaur in the middle of the street that is holding up traffic. He hates it. Gets out, to yell at the dinosaur, I guess. When he gets back in, there's a woman in there, Scarlett Johansson, Zora Bennett, who, as I also said, is ex-military covert operative. And it's kind of clear that Martin hired Zora for some job.
Right. And she wasn't really sure if she wanted to do it or not, so she showed up inside of his car.
Yep. So what do you think of both of these characters? Martin Krebs, played by Rupert Friend, and Zora Bennett, played by Scarlett Johansson.
I feel like they are fine characters. I have some issue with Scarlett Johansson's character later in the story. But other than that, like, they're fine. They play their role for the story, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't think the acting in any of these scenes is, like, really spectacular.
Yeah.
But, like, also, is that the point of a Jurassic World movie? Probably not. We all know why we're there, and it's not for the human characters.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, the original had a good human character to dinosaur kind of ratio thing going on.
Yeah.
So, I do feel like it's missed. I feel like all the characters are just, like, caricatures. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I get that, which I think does, in my opinion, take away from the story a little bit.
Yep, 100% agree. Like, Martin Krebs is literally the evil billionaire dude, and, like, he's evil.
Yeah.
Like, he is a bad guy.
Yep.
And Zora Bennett is the main character of the movie, if we're being honest. And she kind of starts...
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I guess. I feel like there's, like, 3 main characters.
I would argue that she is the main character of the movie. It's hard to tell, because, like, she doesn't really do too much. But at the end of the day, when you look at which characters have actual arcs, she
That's where
does.
I have my issue, though.
But she has an arc. You could argue maybe Duncan also has an arc, but I would argue he doesn't. So, but considering she's the only one with an arc, she's probably what I would say the main character of the movie.
Yeah, okay.
Because she starts as like this, I'm just following orders, and then by the end, she's like, actually, I do have a heart. You know?
I guess so.
So those are...
But she ultimately agrees to do this mission for Martin because she wants to get some money.
Yep. So then they go and visit a paleontologist, Dr. Henry Loomis, who is my favorite character of the movie. Played here by Jonathan Bailey.
Love him.
I think he does... I don't know. I feel like he does the best job. He's so funny with what he was given.
Talking about, like, somebody that's actually acting and acting well, him. Like, nothing that he did I found unbelievable.
And I don't think, like... It's up to the writers, too, to, like, give the actors stuff to work with. And I just don't feel like a lot of them had stuff to work with here.
Fair.
Like, including him. So there is no, like, standout acting moment. But I do think he probably gives the best performance and is the best character. But they're kind of... Where are we? We're in the... It looks like the original Welcome Center of Jurassic Park, doesn't it?
I wasn't sure if it was a welcome center or, like, a museum or something.
But I think it's just, like... in the city. It's not the one from Jurassic Park, even though it looks like it. But it's being shut down because public interest in dinosaurs has fallen off a cliff, which I feel like isn't too surprising, considering you can see them every day, you know?
Yeah.
That didn't feel far-fetched to me. I was like, yeah, that probably would happen in real life if we had dinosaurs every day. But Henry Loomis is coming with them, and...
He didn't know.
He didn't know.
He thought he was just, like... What did he say? I don't remember. What's it called?
Consulting. Yeah.
He thought he was just consulting with his dino knowledge.
And Martin Krebs says, you are consulting just on site.
Yep. And essentially, like, their mission is they have to go to this island to find 3 of the biggest dinosaurs still in existence and retrieve, like, a blood sample or a serum sample from them.
Because it is the key to a new heart disease treatment. How we came to that conclusion, kind of unclear. Also unclear is why those 3 specific specimens, because they choose one in the air, one in the sea, and one on the land.
Yeah, The only really explanation was that they're the biggest, so they have the biggest hearts, I guess. I don't know.
Uh-huh. So the dinosaurs are the Mosasaurus in the water, who is a classic player in the Jurassic World movies. The Titanosaurus, which I think is a new addition to the series. I don't think we've seen one before.
We've never seen a T-Rex?
I said nothing about a T-Rex.
Oh, sorry.
The Titanosaurus.
Oh, I see, sorry.
And then the Quetzalcoatlus, which is not a new arrival. It shows up in Dominion for sure, the sixth movie of the franchise. So those are the three that we're going after. So we now have a basic plot that's very much what are the plots called where you go after something?
Like a MacGuffin plot?
Yeah, MacGuffin plot. We have a MacGuffin plot where we're looking for 3 specific dinosaurs. So
I have my one issue with this is why are we just now trying to use dinosaur samples to improve human lives?
well, you have to remember that it's a no-fly zone.
I know, but I mean like years ago when dinosaurs were everywhere closer.
I mean, I think that's the point. Because you'll notice that even though it's a good thing, it's actually a bad thing. Because they wanna upsell it for like an insane amount of money.
I know, I just feel like as soon as dinosaurs became like back again and like everywhere, there would have been these companies testing them nonstop to find any way to make a buck.
Yeah, probably. There's no guarantee they didn't do that.
I guess it's true, I suppose.
But maybe they've been researching this whole time. And now they know that's what they need. No, but I think it goes to... I do think it's very human that regardless of what you think with, like, the 5th one and the 6th one, whether or not they're good movies, I do think it's I think those are both things that would happen if dinosaurs existed in real life. Like, we would genetically modify them and then sell them on the black market. We would use the DNA to... again, trying to make a quick buck by genetically modifying these insects that won't eat specific... Like, Jurassic World, the people in Jurassic World are seemingly rich and evil.
Yep.
And I think that's just kind of what they're going for in this series, which we see again here with Martin Krebs, who, like, even though, yes, it's a good thing, what he's doing, it's also a bad thing because he's going to sell it for so much money. Like, he doesn't actually care about the people, he just cares that he's making a buck, right?
Big pharma.
So, because the island is a no-fly zone, or a no-travel zone, they need to get smuggled on there. So how are we going to do that? Zora has a friend named Duncan Kincaid, played by Mahershala Ali, and he's a smuggler.
Yeah, I really like Duncan. Like, he's a smuggler, but like we learn he has his morals still.
Yep. So then Zora and Duncan kind of do this thing where they hassle the rich guy for more money, to which he accepts. And then they all get on a boat and they bring along Leclerc, Nina, and Bobby Atwater. Who, I don't know about you, but I saw all 3 of them and I said, okay, so they're dinosaur food, which turns out to be correct.
Wow.
So then we kind of cut to this family.
Yeah.
Which they explain later, but I was so confused why this family was so far out in the ocean. Like, so far out. On, like, it's a small sailboat. Like, it's not anything big. Like, they're just out sailing. And we're introduced to Ruben, Teresa, Isabella, and Xavier.
Yes.
Who, Teresa and Isabella are Ruben's daughters, and then Xavier is Teresa's boyfriend. And I kind of hate Xavier when we first meet him.
Me too.
He's a jerk.
I thought he was going to die.
Yeah, me too.
Quick because...
I was rooting for it.
But he kind of slowly becomes the comedic relief.
In a way.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think he was funny, but I think he's in situations that are inherently funny, so to speak. Like, for example, I think that Henry Loomis is funnier than Xavier.
Henry?
Like, as a character. The Doctor. Jonathan Bailey.
Yes.
But I understand where you're coming from with Xavier being
Mm-hmm.
I get that. So they're basically attacked, their boat, by the Mosasaurus and the Spinosaurus.
Yes.
Spinosauri. They're attacked, their boat's flipped. There's some, I think there's some cool stuff in here. It's not... There's one specific shot where it's, under the water, I think, and it shows the Mosasaurus swimming under the boat.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cool shot. I liked that shot
I feel like a lot of the water shots in general I liked.
Yeah.
At least, compared to the rest of the movie.
I think, even though I don't love this movie, I do think it's pretty good at building suspense, especially during a lot of the dinosaur stuff. There's a lot of times where the dinosaurs will, reach out their necks and snap, and, all the characters are, this close to being eaten.
Yeah.
So every time I was,
mm-hmm.
I would brace, even though I knew, our main characters were really not in any danger, but it felt like there were. I think the tensions were high in a lot of the chase sequences and stuff like that. And this one was a good example. Xavier almost gets eaten.
Yeah.
But ultimately doesn't. And they're all on their ship together, calling for help.
And so then we go back to the boat with our other group of characters, and Duncan, I think it's Duncan, hears this call over the radio for help, and it's from the family. And then he tells the rest of the group about it, and then we kind of start to see some true colors here as they debate of whether they should go and help them or continue with the mission. Obviously, our bad guy, Mr. Richman Martin, does not want to go save anybody. He's like, we heard it. Some other boat's going to hear it. So somebody else will save him. Let's keep going. I kind of feel like he was the main one saying, let's keep going.
Yeah, I think it was him, that Bobby guy.
Oh, yeah, Bobby.
But then Duncan and Zora were pro saving the family.
Yes.
Something we didn't really touch on is there's this quick scene inside the boat where Zora and Duncan kind of catch up a little bit. And it's kind of revealed that, Zora lost a partner out in the field. She's not really over it, but also Duncan lost his daughter at some point, and that kind of ruined his relationship with his woman. So it's just this scene of personal relationships that gives you something to root for both of them, because you realize that they are kind of sad on the inside, but it also drives both of them throughout the movie. And Duncan clearly really relies on this family because the Isabella girl is a young
it reminds him of his
girl.
daughter.
It clearly reminds him of
The only issue I have with this, which is probably one of my plot issues with the whole movie, is I feel like they rush through all the meaningful moments.
Mm-hmm.
It almost feels it's obviously not the focus of the movie, and they just put it in there because they had to. I don't know. It didn't feel like it was developed well to me.
As for me, on that point, I don't really care because I'm here to watch dinosaurs eat people.
That's fair.
But, as I said earlier, and I'll keep going back to it, the original does do a good job of establishing our characters and who they are and what they believe while we still have dinosaurs eating people. Right. So there is that balance, right?
Because I feel like if you have that good story set up, it adds to the tension with the dinosaurs.
Fair. I don't know. It didn't bother me. This to me was enough where I was okay, the characters have a backstory now. They're sad, and I'm sure that'll play a part in each of their quest lines later, but let's see more dinosaurs.
So they ultimately decide that they're going to go save this family. Duncan's this is my boat. Basically, I'm the captain of the ship type of moment, so we're going to go save them. So they show up. Family is still alive, sitting on top of their capsized boat.
We don't actually see them pick up the family, right? We just see them emerging, and then the next shot is of them all on the boat.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So they get them all on the boat. The family's kind of explaining what happened, that they were attacked by that dinosaur. And, and Duncan's why are you even out here? It's so dangerous.
It's worth noting that Duncan is, seriously pissed.
Yes.
That this dad let this family be out this deep. And the dad's we literally make this trek all the time. Nothing has happened. But Duncan is clearly furious that he put this young girl in harm's way. So much so that Zora has to be like, all right, Duncan, like, chillax.
And then Dinosaur shows back up.
With the Spinosauri.
Yeah. We kind of learn that the Spinosauri kind of help the Mosasaurus hunt.
Thanks to Henry for that fun fact.
Because you kind of see, like, I don't know, it's like a fin that the Spinosauri have. And you, like, see it in the distance, like, sticking up in the water. And the family saw it the first time when they were attacked, so it pops back up again now that they're rescued, and that one of the daughters is like, look, it's those things again. And then, there's the Mosasaurus again.
Yep. So then the group decides to use this opportunity to get the Mosasaurus's blood, so they get their little gun with the needle. It's kind of cool.
Well, time out. Did Ian just say a needle was cool?
Yep, I'm not being stuck by it. The device itself is cool. How about that?
All right, that's fair. The technology behind it.
Yep. Not sure realistically how it would work, but that's okay. We're in a scientific fantasy scenario here where they shoot it into the dinosaur and then it self-extracts the blood. And then when it's done, it shoots out.
Off of the dinosaur.
And then parachutes back down so that they can collect the sample. It's kind of neat.
I have a few issues with this scene.
Oh, okay.
This is maybe the first scene where I was, like, mad.
Okay. And
the type of mad where, like, when you watch, like, a horror movie and you see the characters doing all the wrong things, like the obvious, they're not doing the obvious things. Yeah, this is one of those scenes.
Please explain.
So prior to this, we had already established that Scarlett Johansson's character was going to be the one to shoot the needle into the dinosaur, and where she was going to do it from, at the very front of the boat. They took the time to plan this out, but then when it actually happens, there's like all these extra things that they didn't discuss the first time, but were obviously needed. So she'll be at the front of the boat, right? And she's supposed to be strapped in. They didn't talk about that before. And then she shoots one of the needles and misses. It doesn't have a backup on her.
I would like to clarify for those listening. She doesn't just shoot and miss. She accidentally misfires.
This is also an issue for me. Like, I don't know if she was, like, feeling, like, some PTSD or something. Like, when she was up there, she was acting like she's never been in a tense situation in her life. Like, the boat rocking. She was like, oh, God. And I'm like, just shoot it.
After she made a big deal about how you need to have the steadiest hand to be the one shooting, she had none of these things.
It was crazy. This was just one of the first scenes that really shaped, because it happened again and again for me throughout the movie, similar things like this, which ultimately I think made my final ranking for the movie. But
yep, fair. So Bobby is eaten by a Spinosaurus,
which I'm not really mad about. Bobby was kind of not nice.
Yeah, he was kind of a jerk. Off the boat, kind of like jumps up and snatches him. That was kind of cool. And I gotta credit, I really like the shot of ScarJo hanging off the boat, and like you see the Mosasaurus's eye.
Yeah.
Great shot. I love that shot. I just think Gareth Edwards does some cool stuff visually in this one, and it's so frustrating that everything else about it is so bad, because I really like the visuals in this one.
Yeah, this might be one of my favorite dinosaurs of the movie. I don't know, I will say, just like the suspense of a water dinosaur, like, when are they going to come up? You know, that type of thing.
Yeah. So Zora finally figures it out, and she gets the sample. The Mosasaurus disappears for a little bit, but it does come back, and they decide they need to get into the shallow portion of the island that they're at, and essentially they just keep being attacked, so much so that the father, Reuben, tells Teresa to go radio for help. So she radios for help, but because this is a secretive mission, our villain, Martin Krebs, kind of tells her she can't call for help because it's an off-the-books mission, and then she, like, loses her footing when the Mosasaurus hits the boat, and she slides off the boat, and she's calling for help, and Martin Krabs just watches her fling off the side of the boat and doesn't do anything, and then she falls into the water, which then Xavier sees and jumps in after.
Yeah, no hesitation from this guy.
Right. And then the rest of the family also jumps in, even though Zora's like, we have to stick together. They all jump in the water.
I kind of felt like this was a little weird, maybe, for the father to be like,
I agree.
Come on, my, like, 6-year-old daughter, let's jump in after them.
Completely agree.
But
it ends up working out for them.
I mean, that's true.
But, yep. The whole part here where they're, like, trying to figure out a way for them to get on the island just felt so manufactured for me. Mm-hmm. And they had to, like, split up the two groups. Yeah. So they needed the family to jump off, and it was...
Yeah, and while the family's, like, doing this, Duncan's, like, driving the ship full speed ahead at the island.
Yep.
And the rest of them are, like, packaging up the any supplies they need in these, like, flotation devices and throwing them overboard. Because I guess they'll retrieve them once they get to shore. Yeah, it's just very... And then the whole time, these dinosaurs are still, like, trying to attack the boat.
Yep. So then Duncan crashes the boat onto this island.
Does everybody else jump overboard before he does that?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Which, yeah, they did. They made it a big point about, like, everybody jumping overboard. And I was expecting, like, the boat to, like, be engulfed in flames then once it hit the rocks of this island. But it was totally casual. Like, obviously it comes in fast up these rocks and onto the shoreline, and I'm sure Duncan was probably hurting afterwards, but he didn't die.
Right.
Why'd they even throw everything overboard? It would have been totally fine.
To set up for the next part, where Nina is trying to pull one of the heavy things up on shore.
This is another issue. See, just another thing. Like, this is not a common sense thing to do. This giant package of supplies is, like, 3 times her size, super heavy, and she's just, like, trying to push it herself.
But, again, cool thing happens where this rock that's on the beach starts moving, and it's a Spinosaurus, and you see it in the background, like, walk into the water, and...
Surprise.
It eats Nina. Rip Nina.
Yeah. We didn't really get to know much about Nina.
Nope. So... But, they're all on the island now. They're without the family. They kind of decide that they have to keep moving because they're there now. And that's what they're gonna do. Favorite line here is when they reveal that there's a helicopter coming in a day to pick them up, but it's going to just hover for 2 minutes in the air to see if it can find them.
If they don't see them, it's supposed to leave.
And Henry Lewis is like, why are they hovering? Why don't they just land? And I was like, that would be me in this situation. I would be doing exactly what he is doing. So, shall I just talk about the family first, and then we'll discuss the other ones? Because I don't know. I don't think it doesn't make sense to go back and forth for all of them. So
obviously this group of characters has made it to shore, and, you know, their mission is to go collect samples, so they start off to do that. The family still separated from them, though, but the family is all together. They've made it to, like, this little, it's like a cove or something, and I guess they kind of make it to shore. They're in the jungle.
So they're told while they're on the boat by our heroes that when they get to the island, they would drop them off in this, like, abandoned village.
Yeah, but there would be a radio there.
Yeah, and then they could radio for help from there. So they know that there's this village, so that's kind of what they're working toward.
Yes, and as they, like, reach land, they do find some large piping, and they decide this must lead to the place, so they decide to follow the piping through the jungle. One line here that the dad says, which I kind of wonder, how does he know this? But the pipes, he feels them, he's like, they're warm. It's geothermal energy or something. Which I know the whole reason they included this is to explain why this lab thing on this island still has power. But it was just, like, it felt to me like, oh, that's whatever.
I didn't even catch that. Which then, I guess, semi-answers later when they do get to this lab, and the lights all come on at the same time.
Yep.
Which I still, even with that, it still doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, who flipped the switch?
It's almost like it was on a timer or something. I don't know.
Like, it just...
But I did have one issue with it in that when they do finally reach this place, there's an electric fence, but it's not one.
That's because it's not on. The power isn't on yet when they get there. Other fun fact about the father, he hurt his leg on the boat, saving his other child who also fell overboard.
Yes.
He hurt his leg, but it kind of changes every other scene. In some scenes, his leg is totally fine. In other scenes, he needs, like, a walking cane to, like, hold himself up.
Yeah, it's like he's hurt his leg, almost like near his ankle, I feel like. So it hurts to walk, but then in certain scenes that we'll talk about, when it gets real intense, and it's like, you're only going to survive if you run. Oh, he can run. But the family is going through this jungle, following these pipes, and we do kind of get a little bit of a moment between the dad and the boyfriend, where the dad's like, wow, you just fully dove into that water after hitting my daughter. Like, respect. Because in the beginning, it's obvious the dad does not like this kid.
None of us do.
Well, yeah, that's fair. I don't remember what he says, but the kid, he says something dumb. Like, I don't even remember what it was.
Yep, it was dumb.
It's very on par for his character. And then a big issue in the beginning with the dad and this boyfriend was that they're supposed to be taking turns steering the boat, but the boyfriend just kept sleeping in, missing his turn. So now they're in the jungle, and they stop and they kind of rest. And this is where the boyfriend's like, okay, you guys go ahead and rest, and I'll keep watch. And then we get one of what I think is, like, the most hilarious scenes.
Can I just say something before we move on to that scene? I don't know if it's a hot take. I didn't care about this moment between them, like, at all.
I mean, I feel like you didn't care about any of them.
This is
ever.
Like, this was one of the scenes where I was getting mad. I was like, where are the dinosaurs? I want the dinosaurs.
I see.
Because this was a big thing about the 6 movie too, is like they chose to do locusts instead of dinosaurs. There's so many dinosaurs in Jurassic World Dominion, and yet they do nothing. Like, they just, like, exist. But it's just, where are they? Where are they in this movie? Like, yeah, we had a big scene, I get it. But it's just like, we're in the middle of a jungle with thousands.
To be fair, during this scene, like, right before it, as they, like, I think they stopped to rest, we are introduced to a little dinosaur. Probably the cutest dinosaur ever.
He was so cute.
So cute that the little girl sort of starts to befriend it.
It's named Dolores.
Names it Dolores.
And wants to adopt it.
And is feeding it candy.
That's true.
The whole, like, she kept feeding it candy was also a thing for me, because I'm like, you're basically in a survival situation. Why has the dad not, like, been rationing food or something? I don't know. But whatever, that's not the point of the movie. But I also kind of feel like we don't just see dinosaurs everywhere, because, like, even though they are confined to, like, this part of the earth, it's still, like, made known that, like, they are, like, going away, sort of. There's less and less. So, like, I'm not surprised we don't see a ton.
I would buy that if it weren't for that one scene where there's, like, thousands of them. The scene with the Titanosaurus. There's so many.
All right, well, we haven't gotten to that scene yet.
I know, but I'm just saying. That put into perspective where I was like, okay, so there are a bunch of dinosaurs on this island. There's a ton, and we're seeing none in this. Which isn't entirely true, because we do see a couple in the next scene.
Yeah, which this is, like, probably the funniest scene to me. I don't even know why, but I
think it's shot well.
Yeah, the boyfriend, you know, he's keeping watch, but he steps away to go use the bathroom. Starts to use the bathroom, as one does, and then, like, we're, like, seeing the front of him, sort of, and then in the background you see these dinosaurs.
Velociraptors.
A couple of them just kind of, like, come into screen, and then they get closer to him, and it's almost like the moment, like, right before they're about to attack him, this other dinosaur. I don't know which kind.
I'm pretty certain that it's supposed to be the Quetzalcoatlus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Although, I don't know, that Quetzalcoatlus is humongous. Maybe it's just supposed to, because that one was pretty small. Maybe a baby Quetzalcoatlus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, just as they're about to attack him, and he's still, like, sort of unaware, the Quetzalcoatlus or whatever comes in and just, like, snaps them up. And they make these noises that are, like, obviously, like, dinosaurs, like, in distress fighting noises. And you see the boyfriend, he just freezes. Stops using the bathroom. Freezes, doesn't turn around or anything. And the dinosaur that attacked the other ones kind of just, like, takes off with those dinosaurs now dead. And then the boyfriend starts using the bathroom again.
Yep. I think this scene is well shot. Again, I just have questions as to where the other velociraptors are, but other than that, this is it for them, isn't it? We don't see any more velociraptors. There's the things at the end, but they aren't velociraptors. They're something else. I think that's the only appearance of Velociraptor, which is crazy because they play such huge roles in all the other movies.
Yeah, I guess we don't really see them.
This was a moment where I was like, okay, this family is going to be safe. Like, this is when I thought it. I was like, this family isn't dying. So then I got mad. I got mad again because I was like, now anytime this family is on screen, I genuinely do not think any of them are going to die because this kid who they made unlikable is now kind of likable because he did this whole 180 after this life and death situation, as humans do, made this dumbest choice imaginable to walk 20,000 yards from the camp to use the bathroom. He's perfectly alone, leaving the rest of the family sleeping in the jungle alone. And these velociraptors, because I was like, okay, this is going to be awesome. Like, they're going to snatch him up, they're going to eat him, it's going to be over. And then this thing comes and kills the velociraptors, and now I'm like, okay, so this family is safe. So I was a little disappointed by that.
I don't know if I was fully sold that they would all be safe. Like, I kind of was thinking maybe there'd be some type of a sacrificing scene either by the dad or maybe the boyfriend. The daughters, I didn't really think they were gonna die. What I did like about this scene though is a dinosaur on dinosaur fight, which I think it might be the only one we got.
Yep.
Which I personally really like the dinosaur on dinosaur fights.
Yeah, I kind of think there's one in every movie up to this point.
And I feel like they're, like, I don't know, bigger fights than
because, like, the T-Rex fights the Indominus Rex in Jurassic World. There's the T-Rex Cartinosaur, whatever the one is, in Dominion. And then, yeah, like, it exists. Jurassic World, or Jurassic Park, the T-Rex kind of fights the Velociraptors.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but we got one. It's just framed very interesting because, like, you don't really see the fight. Yeah, you see him more.
And it's so unexpected. Like, you're not expecting this other dinosaur to come in.
No, I was totally ready for that guy to die.
So I think that's what added to this scene. I don't know. It was a good scene for me.
So then the family just kind of keeps walking. They fall down this hole at one point all together.
Which was crazy. I didn't even understand this hole. It was like, almost like, I guess, sort of like a cliff's edge, sort of, or something. But, like, overgrown and covered in brush. So, like, one person walks thinking they're going to step on solid ground, and they don't. They just go through the brush and then starts to slide down this embankment. But then all the other ones also do it? I don't know. What?
I mean, I think it's acted strangely because they, like, seem to act as if they didn't know it was there. But I do think that, for me, you probably think you're going to die on this island anyway. And if a member of my party fell down this hole, and, like, it was a family member, I probably would also go down the hole. Like myself. Because I'd be like, well,
yeah,
we're all either dead, or he's alive, and then we're together again.
But, like, it didn't look like one person fell, and then they decided, all right, let's go after them.
That's what I'm saying. It's acted so bizarrely, but I do think it was a choice that they made to go down, but I just don't think that came across well.
Yeah, it was almost like, I don't know, one fell and the others were like, oh no.
And then the dad hurt his leg again, which at this point hadn't been hurting.
Yeah, so dad's leg's really hurting. And they slide down to, like, a little river.
Yep.
And across the river, there's like a little tiny dock, and it's leading to like this little like metal-looking shed, sort of. Sticking out of the shed looks like part of a little boat.
A boat.
And so the eldest daughter is like, "You guys stay here. I'm gonna swim across and get that boat. Nothing could go wrong."
Something goes wrong.
As she reaches the dock, lounging in the brush nearby is a giant T-Rex.
Which scares off the Dilophosaurus, which goes after her first.
Oh, that's right.
I love those guys. They're so fun.
But the T-Rex, this was kind of a cute. Can I say cute? I don't know if they were intending to be that way, but the T-Rex kind of like rolls over. He's asleep, but so he rolls over from his left side to his right side and is now facing the daughter. But the way he does it just kind of reminded me of like a dog.
Axel literally naps that exact way.
Yeah, okay.
With his belly up in the air and his paws.
Never thought I'd say a T-Rex was cute, but not sure if that's how they actually slept.
This one was kind of cute, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Like, even when it gets woken up, it goes to get a drink first. Relatable. But the boat is broken.
Yeah.
She can't get the boat. She can't access the boat.
Yeah, so, like, she's like, in the middle of the dock when the T-Rex rolls over, and then she, like, slowly rushes at the same time into this little shed.
Slowly rushes.
Like, she's trying to move slowly, but then, like, at the end, she's just, like, runs into the shed. You know what I mean?
Oxymoron.
But yeah, once we get into the shed, we see the other side of this boat is really just like a metal frame. It's not really a boat.
Yep.
But miraculously,
thankfully,
there's a package that says inflatable boat right next to it.
Yep.
There's also, conveniently, a flashlight in here that still works.
This is the entire convenient section of the movie that made me so angry. Which
I think maybe that's another part of my issue with the movie, is that the not doing the obvious things but then keep being saved by convenience trope. Yeah. Like,
once or twice in a movie is fine. Like, it's a fictional world, but man, it happens so much in this movie.
Every single scene almost.
Almost every dinosaur attack they get away from purely because of convenience.
Yeah, and like half of them, they are in the situation because they did something stupid.
Yep. Cool moment here where she's like dragging the raft and it's loud and you're like, the T-Rex is going to wake up. And then when she pulls the lever to inflate it, it kind of pops open. Mm-hmm. And then when it flips back on its side, the T-Rex, which has been in frame the whole time, is gone. Yeah. Which is cool. I don't understand how you couldn't hear the T-Rex get up and move, because they're not exactly the fastest creatures, right?
Yeah, unless it was like moving the same time the boat was filling with air, so it was already loud.
Yeah, it was cool. I like that moment, that little reveal there. And then they get in the raft and they start paddling the opposite direction of the current, so they were really working hard.
Well, so like she inflates the boat, gets it across to them. In the background, we kind of see the T-Rex.
Yeah,
like, he just woke up.
Yeah, he's going to get some water.
Just kind of like looks around while they're trying to escape, but then he sees them.
Yep, and he approaches them.
This was also just one of those movies, like, why are you even trying? They're like paddling so hard. And I'm like, that's a giant T-Rex.
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
What would you do in that situation?
Jump in and swim?
No, not when the current's going the other way. The current's going toward the T-Rex. I would keep paddling. I don't think they're in the wrong for this. But the T-Rex flips them off of their raft anyway, and they all just kind of like float around in the water as the current takes them, and the T-Rex is chasing them all through the.
But like the current was going towards the T-Rex, but now it's not anymore.
Now it's going the opposite direction.
This is what I'm saying. I don't.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like this scene though. I think this might be my favorite chase scene of the movie.
Okay. Yeah. So like the family kind of. The boat okay. The boat tips over. We see, like, the dad, the oldest daughter, and the boyfriend kind of make it to this little, like, it's an area with, like, these tall rocks sticking up out of the water, but, like, right in between them, there's, like, a narrow space that they could like swim through, but they're like against the rocks. And then they're looking around, and the youngest daughter is not there. She is underneath the boat, the flipped over boat, and she's making a lot of noise, calling for help.
I think before they get to the rock, anytime the camera goes underwater in this sequence, I think looks so cool. Like the T-Rex is kind of like swimming at times. You can see him underwater.
I didn't really know that a T-Rex could swim underwater.
They can. Not as graceful as the movie makes them out to, apparently.
How do we know that? Who knows?
That's a good question. But Google said they can.
But like
Google's
he's, like,
never wrong.
A graceful swimmer and like fully like eyes open while he's swimming underwater. I guess whatever.
But this is a moment where I think there's a lot of almost eats that I found. I don't know, like 10. I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
ooh,
that's true.
Almost got him. But yeah, we cut to the youngest daughter, Bella, under the raft, and they do a cool thing where the like teeth of the T-Rex like come down into the raft a little bit.
Were those teeth? I thought it was its claws, because they show the T-Rex like he takes like his little hand thing and like hits the boat down.
Okay, maybe it was the claws. I don't know. I thought it was. I guess it makes sense because I thought it was the top of his mouth only.
Where's the bottom?
Yep, that. But I'm calling shenanigans here. There's no shot that this raft
doesn't pop,
survives this or the next thing that happens, where the T-Rex eats this raft in its mouth. It's in its mouth. It chomps it. It's crazy. The dad thinks she's dead. Everyone in the theater knows she's not because they're not killing this child. And then she like pops up out of the water and she's like, Dad! And then the T-Rex is chasing her. And then she gets behind the rock as the T-Rex face just barely can't get through this rock formation. And then he just kind of gives up.
Yeah. A couple of things here. The rocks didn't look like big enough to me that he couldn't just go over them.
I kept thinking that too. I was like, can he just like walk around? Like
yeah, but he just kind of like gave up and went the other way. And then also the way this happened, the raft shoots out from like between the rocks from underwater onto the other side with the family, and I'm like, what? How?
Yeah, this raft should not have survived this.
1, how did it not pop? 2, how has it been underwater this entire time? And 3, how did it fit through that little opening?
Yep. And then the whole family laughs.
Yeah.
Which pissed me off too. I hate.
Like, you think they would have been like, thank God, like relieved maybe?
Maybe it was a relieved laugh. I don't know. But, man.
But for all of them to react that way? Convenience. Maybe they're laughing over the convenience.
Maybe. But then they just kind of take this raft to the abandoned area. So that's it for the family at this point. While all that is happening, our heroes are looking for the Titanosaurus and the Quetzalcoatlus. So they get to the Titanosaurus first, where it's in long grass. And like I was getting excited because I was like, long grass, that equals Velociraptors. Velociraptors like the long grass. We did not go that route, however, as the Titanosauruses emerge from the long grass, which is insane because these dinosaurs.
Yeah, this is like, think of like Land Before Time, Littlefoot, his mom.
Humongous.
That's this type of dinosaur.
And
a plant eater.
There's no way any of them were hiding in this tall grass. The grass was not that tall.
Alright. Once we get to the end of this scene, there's no way, but when we first see them, it's just like 2 of them. And like this grass is like, is it above the humans' heads?
No, it's like at their waist.
Okay, that's what I thought. Waist level.
There's no shot these dinosaurs are hiding. Because you get an establishing shot. You get a shot from behind their backs facing this field of waist-high grass. And these dinosaurs are nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found.
Yeah, the only thing I couldn't remember is if maybe they looked like mountains or something.
I cannot remember if they're on a hill. If they're on a hill, then maybe it works because they could be like over the apex of the hill, so then like you can't see on the other side. I can maybe give them that, maybe.
At least for the 2, not
There's thousands of these things too. Like it's insane.
So they're trekking. Our other group of characters are trekking through this grass field. I don't remember what they're talking about, trying to find this dinosaur, and then 1 or 2 of them, they just like stand up from the grass in the distance. This is what we're talking about. Like, how did they not see? Because these are huge, maybe even bigger than like all the other dinosaurs, honestly.
For sure bigger.
So like that part of the scene is a little like, okay, because then towards the end of this scene, as these dinosaurs start to leave, it pans out and shows like a whole like migration of these dinosaurs. Huge dinosaurs. Like, how did you not even feel the earth shake with that or something? I don't know. But all that being said, visually, I really like this scene.
I think these dinosaurs look the worst out of any of the dinosaurs
that's not what
in
I
the
meant.
movie. I understand what you meant. I just wanted to get that out there. The Tyrannosauruses are easily the worst looking dinosaurs. Like, on a CG perspective, like, I think they look CG.
Really?
Yeah. I kept thinking it the whole time. I could not shake it. They looked fake to me.
I didn't think they looked... Okay. The one thing with these dinosaurs that was kind of, like, distracting me from, like, the entire scene a little bit was their tails. Like, think about a regular... what is this dinosaur even called?
A Titanosaurus.
Yeah, but what's the one it's based off of, the real dinosaur?
It's based on a Titanosaurus.
Alright.
The Titanosaurus is a real dinosaur. Literally means Titanic lizard.
Doesn't even look like a lizard. Anyways, they have these tails that are like a regular big long dinosaur tail, but then as it tapers down, it keeps tapering down almost into like a little... like a whip. Like the end of their tails look like whips so that they can have full control over. And so...
I kept thinking stingray tail.
But like even...
But like it's longer than that.
Yeah.
But like I just was like, if you got hit with that tail, I think it would hurt.
Honestly, you might die.
That's what I'm saying.
And it does... Their tails do kind of seem like a visual emphasis here. Because like they end up like showing the 2 of these dinosaurs like together, and they have the long necks, so their necks kind of like cross over each other. And I think the point is like trying to make this like show like not all dinosaurs are these scary meat-eating monsters.
Yeah, we have Dolores too.
That's true. But then like their tails while they're doing this keep like wisping through the air, which I didn't hate these dinosaurs. I don't feel as strongly against them as Ian does. But the scene, I
don't hate them.
You said you didn't like how they look.
I think they look terrible, but I don't hate the dinosaurs.
Oh, well, I didn't...
This is my favorite scene in the movie.
Okay. Well, I didn't mind the way they looked. It was really them tails that was getting me. That was maybe slightly unrealistic to me. But visually, the scene... I don't know if it's like the colors with the green, the super green grass, and then the sky and everything. And then when they were panning out, like, it just felt expansive and gorgeous. And then the music playing here was great. And I feel like this was the most peaceful sample collection for the whole movie.
Yes. I think the reason I like the scene so much is that it harkened so well back to that initial moment in Jurassic World where you do see the dinosaurs for the first time. I believe what you were trying to say is either the Allosaurus or the Brontosaurus, because those are the big ones that have the... But, like, this one is insane. And anyway.
But, yeah, the feeling of this, it almost feels, like, magical.
Yeah, like, it was so good, and you have the moment where the doctor is, like, touching it, and he's, like, living his best life.
Yes, okay, yes. That's also why I like this. Because we see this guy who's, like... studied dinosaurs his whole life and like knows everything about them, but like only like dinosaurs in captivity, that now he's finally here up close with these giant wild dinosaur. And there is a moment, it was almost giving me similar to the How to Train Your Dragon scene where he reaches his hand out and touches Toothless for the first time, because then you see his reaction on his face. where Jonathan Bailey's character touches one of the legs of this giant dinosaur, and then when he makes contact, the look on his face, like, it was great.
Yeah, and this is also, for those that haven't heard, this is the song in which Jonathan Bailey played the clarinet solo for.
Yeah.
It's happening during this moment because it's Dr. Loomis's theme that Jonathan Bailey played on clarinet during this scene.
Yes, like not in the movie, but like as part of the orchestral soundtrack, he did that solo.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know he played clarinet. Just keep learning more and more things.
Yeah, what can't Jonathan Bailey do?
Exactly.
But no, this scene is so magical. I was grinning from ear to ear this whole moment. I thought it was great.
One, not really a caveat, maybe a caveat to this, which is just another moment where I'm like, why didn't they do the obvious thing? Like, they're right next to these dinosaurs, and Scarlett Johansson's character makes some type of comment about how she's gonna get the sample, but then we watch Jonathan Bailey's character just walk right up and like touch the dinosaur. I'm like, well, why didn't he just get the sample? Like, I don't know.
Maybe the leg didn't have good blood flow.
I don't know. They just set it up weird. So then when she like did shoot the apparatus into the dinosaur, like, and Jonathan Bailey was so close, I thought they were like setting it up for like him to get like hurt or something. Like the dinosaur was going to react badly, but it didn't. It just, I don't know. It was a weird. I don't even know why they said anything about it.
Yep, fair point. Also worth noting that Dr. Loomis is trying to get Zora to not give the samples to Martin Krebs.
Oh, yes.
Because he thinks that they should just give it to the world and then they can figure out what to do with it.
Yeah, they had this like little conversation back on the boat before we even reached the island where Jonathan Bailey's character was like, what if we didn't? And it just, this is where I have an issue with Scarlett Johansson's character arc, because like it just seems so random to me that he would just like say that to her, and like their acting in this just felt weird to me. Like they were trying to make it a moment, but it wasn't. It was very quick, and I don't know. I didn't.
What?
Like whatever she said to him in response.
You should shut up.
No, she said something different. Like almost.
She is fully against it at the beginning.
Yes.
Like on the boat, she's fully against it because she's getting paid because she wants the money.
I know that, and the way she like responded to him was like mocking him. I don't know. It just felt weird to me and like forced, maybe.
I don't know if I agree. I think their romantic thing going on between them is totally forced.
Yeah, I don't even really know that I feel it.
Yeah, I don't. At the end, nothing happens with it, so I don't know if it is actually supposed to be a thing or not.
I don't think it is.
That's forced. But I think it's a good starting point for her character arc. Like, she wants the money. That's it. But I think this scene here is where she starts to change her mind.
That's
this Titanosaurus scene.
That's true.
And then not much then we just kind of go straight to the Quetzalcoatlus scene. Like, we go back to the family, and then when we're back with the heroes, we're at the Quetzalcoatlus. So
this is their last sample they need to get.
They like belay down
the side of a mountain
to like the nesting site, and for some reason this one they need to get it from the egg and not the dinosaur itself.
They kind of explained it in that like this is like a flying, almost like a pterodactyl type of dinosaur. So like getting a sample, I guess, would be hard. I don't know. You shot all the other ones,
but they only had one thing left. So
right. So another point of contention for me is they brought 4 of these needles to shoot, and they have 3 dinosaurs to get. Never. Why wouldn't we at least have 2 per dinosaur? A backup for each one. Where's the common sense here? It's not here.
Nope. And then this whole sequence is another point of absolute annoyance, where the Quetzalcoatlus comes back, kind of surprises Dr. Loomis and Zora, and it's like attacking them in their little cave. The sample's on the ground. It's kicking it around. And then the one guy, Leclerc, is trying to go back up, and he distracts the Quetzalcoatlus as it chases it up while he's climbing back up.
Yeah.
which is enough a distraction for them to get out of the cave. But then Jonathan Bailey's character like falls out of the cave and he's hanging on. And it's a high cliff.
Yeah.
Very high cliff. But the sample like is hit off of the thing and it spins and you're like, well, that's it. But then it lands on this other ledge that's maybe about like... It's so thin. Mm-hmm. It's insane that it just stops there. And then meanwhile, back up at the top of the cliff, I like this reveal too, where the Quetzalcoatlus, like his head emerges up at the top of the cliff, and like you can see Leclerc like in his mouth.
It gets Leclerc.
Yeah, as he just chomps on him numerous times.
And at the top is Duncan and Martin.
Yeah.
And they were trying to pull Leclerc back up.
Yeah, they're just not fast enough. I think this is the most brutal death. Like, I mean, there's no thinking. Easily, this is the most brutal death in the movie.
The last one's pretty...
Oh, I forgot about that one. That one's fun. This one is brutal because Leclerc didn't deserve it.
That's true.
But
okay.
He chomps him like 3 times.
Yeah.
He's like... So then the Quetzalcoatlus is basically attacking Duncan and Martin, but they found this random tunnel.
Yeah, like almost like a staircase down.
So they go in there to hide, but the rope that Zora's using to hold up Dr. Henry Loomis snaps, so he falls, and he hits the trees perfectly.
Yeah.
To soften his fall into the water, so he's able to come back up. He survives this fall from a bajillion feet in the air. And then, what do you know? Duncan and Martin come walking down this Aztec temple thing, and they just happen to join him, and then Zora belays down, which is so funny to me.
Yeah, where did the Quetzal thing go?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
It got its dinner and was satisfied. What?
But the way I went, you've got to be kidding. I like threw my pen down. I was like, this is insane.
Yep.
It's insane that he A, survived that, and B, the way every character ended up at the exact same location is...
And they got the sample. Also, it was in this scene that I was like, why did we make these, the thing that collects the sample out of glass? Like, we obviously knew we were going, like, trekking into rugged terrain.
Did we know it was glass, though?
It makes that noise when it's, like, rolling down the steps.
Could it have been hard plastic?
No way. This is glass.
I bet it was that, like, hard plastic that sounds like glass.
Nope.
I bet it was. Plexiglass?
No, this was glass.
I bet it was plexiglass. I have no...
The amount of non-common sense in this movie makes me think it was glass. But they're all fine. They got the sample. So now they need to head to the facility to get their helicopter.
Yep. And it just happens to be the same facility that the family arrives at. Wow. So then they all meet up. And Teresa is pissed that Martin Krebs let her fall off the boat. Mm-hmm. Martin is prepared, though, because he brought this gun that just happened to be hanging from this helicopter way at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, way at the beginning, there's this helicopter crash in like a tree in the jungle with like a skeleton half hanging out and somehow still clutching a pistol in his hand, hanging just close enough to the ground that Martin can just reach up and grab that pistol. Pistol still works, has bullets, no issues.
Yep.
But he didn't tell anybody he grabbed it.
Yeah, so Martin now has all the power.
And, yeah, it should also be mentioned this entire time, other than this little thing that shoots the sample vials, they didn't have any other weapons.
Yeah, no weapons.
Which is also crazy.
So whenever they're there, they kind of don't have any choice, so they have to, like, give the samples back to Martin. And we all just kind of forget that Martin tried to kill this girl, and we're trying to go home. But then they're attacked by the raptor pterosaur hybrids called mutodons. So then all of the party breaks up yet again to go into different areas of this laboratory town thing.
Yeah.
Which also the electricity randomly turns on while they're all there. So from here, it's basic Jurassic Park stuff. Like the Mutadon gets into a store where the family is, and it like so harkens back to the Velociraptor scene in Jurassic Park 1. Mm-hmm. Same level of tension where like they're using different sounds to draw them around. And the girl with Dolores is like in a freezer at one point trying to hide, and they escape through the
like a drainage,
like a drain, the sewage system, so to speak. Which then Zora watches one of the Mutadons enter because it can hear them in the sewage system, so it also enters the sewage system, and then she goes in after.
I feel like she dropped down there real quick.
Yeah, well, she's...
And that dinosaur's nowhere to be seen.
She is military ops. She went so fast, but that thing is faster.
And then at the same time, Mr. Bad Guy jumps in this car.
Which, this confused me too. Did he do a loop?
I don't really know.
Or did they just... Were they like at the top of this hill, and he drove down the hill, but then when they all got in the sewage system, did it took them down?
I think it took them down.
So that he met them at the bottom of the...
Because ultimately...
They're trying to get to the port.
Which would be down.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's probably it. Yeah, he hops in this vehicle that still had the keys hanging next to it, and he takes off.
Yep. Almost hits a Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
That was fun. Stegosaurus sighting. But then Duncan and Henry they find the...
Like the main part of the lab?
Yeah, they find the lab that we saw at the very beginning, and it's clearly abandoned. But while they're kind of looking around, exploring, the helicopter arrives. So then Duncan is like, I'm going to go find the kids. You get this helicopter to land. So Duncan leaves, but then Henry sees the D-Rex that is still alive from many years ago.
Also, while Duncan and Henry were in this part of the lab, some of the monitors were still working. They weren't destroyed. And they do see on the screen there is this boat.
Yep, they're trying to get to the port, which Martin is also trying to get to, but he doesn't know there's a boat, I guess. So that's interesting. I think they specifically say that he's also driving to the port.
Yeah, but they say he would obviously, they do make a phrase later, he would obviously head to the port because that's the most likely chance of rescue or something like that. But during this part where they see the boat area on the screen, it's not like they decide we're going there because they still are focused on the helicopters, but it does set up for later as like their backup plan.
So this part is cool, I think, where the helicopter does its flyover. Henry Loomis takes forever to get there.
Yeah.
But he's a little late, so he grabs some flares, shoots one into the air that the helicopter pilots then see, and they turn around.
Yes.
There is an insane amount of fog going on during this scene. And, like, I almost, as I was watching the scene, I feel like I could see the fog machine.
Really?
Yeah, because, like, you could see the fog, like, emerging for this big reveal. I haven't seen too many Gareth Edwards movies, but I have seen Rogue One, which is the best Star Wars film. Sorry, not sorry. Gareth Edwards did that. And in Rogue One, Gareth Edwards does this thing where the AT-ATs emerge from smoke, and it does a great job of showing the spectacle, like how big they actually are. So when I saw this fog, I was like, okay, all right, I see what we're doing. So there's this cool shot where the D-Rex kind of walks through the right side of the frame through the smoke, and there's like a lightning strike or something so you can see it. But then the big reveal, which I thought was, I don't know, I thought it was cool. Part of me thinks it was a puppet, but I know it wasn't. Where you can tell the helicopter's coming, but when the helicopter emerges from the smoke, the D-Rex... It's like already in the D-Rex's mouth as it chomps down and just destroys this entire helicopter. Best reveal of the movie. It was so good. Like, I think we all talked about it. Like, you all knew that was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But it didn't take away from, I was like, that's so cool. Like, when it happened.
Yeah, the way it played out was still, like, very, like, whoa.
So then Henry kind of runs away back to Duncan, and he's like, "Did you see that?" And Duncan's like, "Nah, get in." So then everyone gets in the sewer system. No longer an option, which was also funny. When they were like, "Did you get the helicopter?" And he's like, "Not an option. No helicopter." So then the boat. So they all end up at this gate that no one can get through except for Isabella.
Because she is small.
And Dolores, who sneaks through, is kind of attacked by the D-Rex, but not really attacked. It's just kind of like menacingly standing there.
Yes, but at the same time, that other Mutadon is like gaining on the people.
Yeah, which I guess two crawl down there, because the one is shot and killed by Zora before they meet up. But there's this other one that's kind of like crawling out through the vent, creepily.
Yes. Because before this all happened, when we were kind of outside, Zora and Martin, everybody really was arguing, and somehow Zora managed to get the gun. Martin has the samples. He handcuffed them to himself and took off in the truck. So he has samples, but not the gun.
But before the gate can be lifted, great distraction as Martin drives up.
Yeah.
And
because his vehicle, I guess, is like tech enabled, and it's telling him about all the dangers. A constant alarm is blaring from it. This is attracting dinosaurs.
And then the D-Rex grabs him and eats him, but not all of him. He leaves his hand, falls off right in front of Zora, who, I guess the gate is open at this point, and that's the distraction they use to get through the gate.
Yes.
And then close it so that the other Mutadon can't get through. And then they go to the boat, and as they're lowering the boat, there's like a spinning light that seems to be tracking or attracting the D-Rex. And Henry realizes that it's the light drawing him, so he tells them to turn the light off. But instead, Duncan has his whole hero moment where he grabs a flare and he draws the D-Rex away from the crew, deep into the jungle.
Yep.
Never to be seen again.
Or so we think.
The flare goes out, they all get on the boat, they drive away. It's very sad, very depressing. But then a flare!
What?
This actually annoyed me, because I was like, okay, that's a good way to go out. Like
a sacrifice.
Yeah, like it works with what we established his character was. Like, he saved the child, he saved the family. That's great. And then he's still alive, which I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask questions. I'm not sure how this works, because I don't understand how the D-Rex just didn't kill him. Regardless, all the heroes are out. Our villain is dead.
Yep.
I guess we needed them all to be back for the sequel that's inevitably coming. So, but yeah, this movie kind of ends abruptly, I think.
Yeah, they're just kind of leaving on the boat.
Yeah, they're on their way back. There's dolphins, which harkens back to something one of the kids said earlier. And then the credits roll.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh.
That's it. We don't get no closure on anything else.
Yeah. The big scary D-Rex is like in the movie for a total of 5 minutes.
But still alive, presumably.
Still alive. Maybe we'll be back. I don't know. Before the credits roll, Zora and Henry do agree that they're going to do the medication without a patent.
Yeah, it'll be an open source.
Yep, which
anybody can have access to it and figure out how to use it.
Which you could argue is solely a side effect of the fact that the person that was supposed to pay Zora is now dead, so she's not going to get her money. So she's like, okay, what the heck? I do wonder. Part of me kind of wishes that Martin survived this so that we could have that moment where she does actually like have her moral stand.
Thinking that, and I was almost thinking that if Martin did survive, that then Duncan would have to die, because then I feel like she would be really like personally affected by everything they've been through to get this medicine or whatever.
I almost wonder if Henry Loomis is supposed to be, because like obviously Isabella, the younger daughter, is like a fill-in for Duncan's daughter. I wonder if Henry Loomis is supposed to be the kind of fill-in for like her partner that she lost. Because that scene where like he is dangling off the side, she's like very distraught.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's not supposed to be a romantic relationship.
I was going to say, I wasn't really getting the romantic vibes, like, almost ever.
The only time I truly did was when he straps her in that one time, and they like purposely make it so that he's like grabbing her hips and stuff while they're doing it. But other than that, it doesn't really pop up any other time.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the point of what he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I see that.
All. Fine plot, I guess. Gareth Edwards, I think visually does a lot of good stuff. I think it's fun to watch. It's just not very good.
Yeah, yeah. Like, it doesn't leave you with anything. It's just entertainment.
Right, which, I don't know, maybe general audiences will enjoy. On that point, actually, well, is there anything else you want to say about this movie before we move on to, like, legacy?
No.
Okay. One thing I will say, the score I actually think is pretty good. I've listened to it since, and even the stuff that doesn't harken back to the original theme, but the original theme is in there a bunch. I think it's good stuff. Like, it feels like it belongs in the Jurassic World.
Yeah.
World, I guess. Like, there was nothing out there where I was like, this is weird for Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. Like, I think it all works well. Alexander Desplat, I would say, did a good job. Yeah. So then for legacy, actually, I saw a article that I'm going to pull up. So this is about the cinema score. Cinema scores. So Jurassic World Rebirth has a 53% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, but a 74% for audience. But the cinema score is interesting because the cinema score for this is a B. If we go through all of the rest of them, Jurassic Park got an A. The Lost World Jurassic Park got a B+. Jurassic Park 3 got a B-. Jurassic World got an A. Fallen Kingdom got an A-. And Jurassic World Dominion got an A-. Meaning that this one is the second worst cinema score in the entire franchise.
It's interesting. Because based off the people that we saw the movie with, I kind of feel like that's accurate. Like, in general, I think Dominion was most of our least favorites, and then this one following after that.
Yeah, but that's not what the cinema score is saying.
Isn't it saying it's the second worst?
Second worst behind Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, Park 3.
General audiences like Jurassic World Dominion better than this movie.
I think from not thinking about it as part of Jurassic World, I think the movie, like the idea behind it, is intriguing, but shouldn't be like a Jurassic World movie.
Dominion?
Yeah. Like the idea of like the modified locusts and everything, like I think that is intriguing.
I was going to make the argument that Jurassic World Dominion also has nostalgia to prop it up, because all the OGs do come back.
Yeah, that's true.
The one that's interesting to me, I actually think, is Fallen Kingdom, which is the 5th movie. Which, for those listening, I really like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The 5th one, I think it's quite good. I've always liked it since it came out. Dominion, I do not like. But I think that's a hot take, and a lot of people don't love Fallen Kingdom, so I am surprised that Fallen Kingdom got an A- over this one, because I know like 5 and 6 are very controversial, I think. So I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I also feel like 5 and 6, and maybe even a little bit with this one, is when just Jurassic Park in general, as a franchise, people started to become like, alright, what are we doing here? Is this going to be the next Fast and Furious? Like, we just keep putting out things that keep feeling like other movies from the same franchise.
Which, I don't, like, again, I just feel like it's strange, because, like, I would argue that this one, Rebirth, kind of goes back to the Jurassic Park basics in a way.
Fun fact, it was written by the original writer.
Right, exactly. While like 5 and 6 are like very much kind of doing their own thing. So I was surprised by that cinema score. Is my takeaway here.
I don't know how how people grade cinema score though.
It's like opening night screenings. They ask people on a scale of A to F what they would give that movie. A B is like, it's like fine, but like a B is low. Like, it's tough because, like, if you think about general audiences, they are basically like
Yeah.
It wasn't enjoyable. So for like a B, that's interesting. I'll go through some quick ones here. Top Gun, Maverick, Avengers Endgame, Titanic all got A pluses.
What's a low one?
It gave a list, but it didn't tell me like what they got. The worst rating ever is Joker Folie à Deux.
What did it get? It doesn't say.
Oh, sorry, that's the worst ever for a comic book movie, which got a D.
Well, I'm not surprised by that. It let us all down.
However, Eye of the Beholder from 1999 got an F Cinema score and a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oof.
So.
What did Brave New World get?
B-. Lowest grade ever by a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie.
Understandable.
Yeah. Which, I guess, aligns with me, who says that this movie is better than Cap 4.
Haha.
Any standout moments that you want to talk about? I know we talked about it mostly kind of as we went.
Yeah, I feel like we talked about it as we went. My favorite scene is probably the one when they're in the grass field. The feeling of it, and then the music and the shots all together created something special, I think. So that's probably my favorite.
Yep, I agree 100%. The field scene is my favorite. I think it's just kind of nostalgia baiting, but it works, so I can't really complain.
What about Legacy?
Well, I just talked about Legacy from a audience perspective.
Yeah,
I feel like it'll be forgotten.
See, I don't know, because obviously we had the first 3 movies, and then they came out with the next trilogy, and so here we are in the 3rd, which I assume they're setting up for a trilogy.
There will be a trilogy. And that's not confirmed. I already know it makes money.
That the writer is already signed on to write another Steven Spielberg movie. They haven't officially said it's Jurassic related, but I'm pretty sure it's the second one of this trilogy. I think it will be interesting to see how, once they make this final full trilogy, how it compares to the other 2 with all new characters and probably less referencing to the originals. Like the second trilogy fully was taken from the first one. Like they just played off of it, which this one is a little bit, obviously, but like more so in the fact that it's the same world and less of like the little Easter eggs and things.
Yeah. As I said before, I don't know if I actually said it during this episode, but I've said it coming out of the movie. It's a sequel reboot is essentially what it is. So, I mean, hey, the next one could be even worse than this, and then everyone remembers this one highly.
That's true.
Who knows? But I feel like we're always going to make Jurassic Park movies, so it makes money. The B cinema score is interesting because it will diminish the amount of people that go and see it.
Yeah, it's also interesting because like the first trilogy, the first one people liked the most probably out of that trilogy. The second one, the first movie of that trilogy, people liked the most. So we're already pretty low here.
Yeah. So I would watch this to see how close to $1 billion it gets. All of the other movies have made $1 billion, I believe, from this franchise. Watch this one. We'll see if it hits $1 billion. But as for me, it's pretty forgettable. I probably won't watch it again until the sequel comes out, and then I'll have to watch this one beforehand to remember what's going on.
I will not be watching this again. Even when the next movie comes out, I will probably just watch a little recapper. This was not the movie for me. And with that, what was your rating?
Basically with everything I just said, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 2.5 out of 5.
2.5?
Yep.
Did you lower?
I did, but I'm kind of lowering everything.
Oh, I see.
On my Letterboxd. I'm rethinking the year. Now that we're at the halfway point of the year, I'm re-evening out some of my scores.
Yeah. I am giving this movie a 2. It's just a little below average for me.
Mm-hmm. And I just feel like it's average.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Let us know down below what you thought of Jurassic World Rebirth. Before we sign off for the day, we want to talk about a very special trailer that came out before Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yes.
And that is the Odyssey trailer. We get our first the Odyssey teaser trailer.
Yes, if you haven't heard, it's the next big movie coming out next summer from Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan.
Has a star-studded cast.
Insane cast.
Like, it is stacked.
Yeah. And, for those that don't know, there's a leaked version out there on the internet, but nothing official on the internet. It is solely, for right now, playing only before Jurassic World Rebirth. Kind of a fun thing happened where, like, the lights were on and we were seeing the previews and I was getting excited for it. And then we got, like, the final commercial before the movie started and I thought I had been duped because I was like, where's this trailer? I actually turned the lights off and then showed the trailer, which I thought was interesting. What did you think of this Odyssey trailer?
I'm surprised we're getting it so soon. Like, I'm pretty sure it's not set to come out until July of next year.
Uh-huh. A year from now.
Yeah. So I'm surprised they're giving us, they called it, it's like a teaser, but it included more than I would expect from a teaser.
Okay.
Like, not in, like, how long it was, but, like, they're showing actual scenes. I feel like teasers don't always show you, like, real scenes. I don't know.
Okay.
But, like, and I also feel like most people know the story of the Odyssey. So, like, they don't really have to lay out the whole plot. They kind of say some things. But it was nice to see kind of what the vibe is going to be. And, like, seeing characters, like, all these actors as their characters was very intriguing. I don't know that it fully hyped me up. Like, I was already hyped when I heard it was happening, but I trust Christopher Nolan, so I'm looking forward to the movie.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with you. I think this is, like, clearly a teaser trailer. Like, clearly a teaser. They really do not show you that much. Depending, I guess, on... I'm assuming this movie is going to be very close to 3 hours long.
It's at least 2.5.
At least.
Like, the Odyssey itself, the story is so long.
Right. Like, we really only get a few... It's like a few shots of Odysseus floating in the ocean. And then there's that scene of Tom Holland and John Bernthal talking. And then, like, a few other, like, establishing shots. But, like, I feel like that's it. Like, we don't see a lot of the cast, I feel like.
Okay.
It
when you put it that way, yes, it feels like a teaser.
It felt very teasery to me. Like, I was like, okay. Like, I was getting into it. I was like, we're building. We're going to get something cool. And then it was just like, the Odyssey. And I was like, that was it? That was it?
But when you think
that's
about
all you gave me?
That's what a teaser's supposed to be.
I know. It was a good teaser. Part of me almost feels let down because they decided to air this before a movie. So I was kind of expecting something bigger. And I was like, okay, that's what we got. We did get a release date, which I thought was interesting because I don't think we had one publicly until this trailer.
I feel like I knew for a while it was coming out in July.
Yeah, but we got an actual date.
Oh, okay.
July 17th, 2026. All I knew was summer 2026 up until that point.
I knew it was in July because I think next July is going to be like Zendaya July or something. Like, she has like 3 movies coming out.
Okay. Cool. I'm also just excited to see Tom Holland in something that isn't Marvel or a flop.
See, I watch a lot of things that he's been in, especially a lot of like TV shows.
Movies. I'm talking movies specifically.
Well, he, like, aside from obviously Spider-Man, the other stuff that he does, well, maybe not, what was that one based off a video game movie?
Uncharted.
Aside from that, he does a lot of like serious drama work.
Yeah, but they all flop.
Not all of them. He does this series on Apple that was really good.
Is it a TV show?
Yeah.
I'm talking movies.
I know, but
all of the movies that he's in flop.
What was he in?
Uncharted, which wasn't that great. The MCU, which we're not counting. Cherry was a flop. Chaos Walking was a flop.
What? How are you defining a flop? As in personal opinion?
No, as in nobody talked about them when they came out because they were bad.
I see.
I know Cherry was bad because it was the Russo brothers, and they're another one outside of Marvel. They really haven't been able to get it together.
The Devil All the Time was good.
Has a 55 Metascore.
All right.
So anyway, I'm just excited to see him star in something that I'm assuming is going to be good. And I think people will see it and be like, because I also don't think people went to see a lot of the movies that he was in. Like Cherry, I don't think made a lot of money. Chaos Walking didn't make a lot of money. So I think people are going to come see this and they're going to be like, wow, Tom Holland can act. In a similar vein of how people saw Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer and thought, oh my god, he can act.
That's true. All right.
That's what I'm excited to see for his sake.
That's fair. As someone who's already seen him in like more dramatic roles and liked at least his character in them, I'm still excited, obviously. Mm-hmm. I'm more excited, I think, to see how Christopher Nolan creates this world for the Odyssey. Like, obviously, I've already heard some things about the production and how realistic he's trying to make it. So from, like, a period piece type of perspective, I'm really intrigued by that. I have high hopes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. My hopes were high. I'm very excited for it. Something, kind of changing topics a little bit. Anything else you want to say about the Odyssey?
No.
Changing topics a little bit. Another movie in 2026 that I didn't realize how excited I think I would be for it is Project Hail Mary, which we got a trailer either earlier this week or last week, which is based on a novel. And I had heard some rumblings about it because they showed some stuff at CinemaCon. And one of the people that I was listening to their CinemaCon coverage was talking about how this story is going to blow people away if you know nothing about it, which I don't. I've never read this novel. So we saw the trailer. And again, I think this is also technically a teaser trailer, but this is 3 minutes long.
That's just a teaser? It gave so much of the plot.
I think it's technically a teaser trailer.
Because I think I've seen a different teaser trailer that didn't go into all of that.
I assumed it was a teaser trailer. I could be totally wrong. But that was the first trailer I'd seen, so that's why I assumed it was teaser trailer. But anyway, we got one, and it does just say official trailer. So
yeah, okay.
It's 3 minutes long. There was no teaser.
Oh, okay. I think there was something shorter, at least, that they released on like social medias that just kind of shows some of the spacey parts about it. It doesn't go into that other part.
Yeah, there was no teaser trailer for Project Hail Mary, it looks like. Interesting. But this looks fantastic.
Yeah, I am also pretty hype. Space movies, I often love. I really like space movies, so I'm pretty hype about that. The backstory into how he gets to space looks like super interesting. The only part where it lost me a little bit was the alien.
Interesting.
Just because I can, like, based off what the trailer says, it's not why he was sent up there. So I'm curious to see how it plays a role, and I could see it either going two ways, making the movie that much better or losing its steam.
Interesting. Based on what I've heard, this movie does not lose steam at all.
Well, the story doesn't, but does the movie?
Because the story doesn't, is my understanding of it. When I tell you that this dude that was talking about it that I was listening to was like really, really into Project Hail Mary.
But I feel like that's with like a lot of book adaptations. These people love the book, but then it gets made into a movie.
But he's seen things that we as general public haven't seen.
Oh, I see.
At CinemaCon, and he is saying that it's going to be so good.
Interesting.
Will I be overhyped for it? Probably yes. But I'm really excited for it. I'm selling whatever this trailer sold.
You're buying?
Yep, that makes more sense. I'm buying whatever this trailer sold.
I mean, I fully agree. It looks great. I feel like it hasn't been, until now, really marketed.
Yeah, this is the first thing I've seen from it. And it comes out in March.
Yeah. So that is a curious release date for me for a movie that's might be gaining hype. It's an early release date.
But release dates moves. Like, they move.
That's true.
As we saw. It reminded her that Sinners was supposed to be a March release, but then that was moved to April.
That's also true.
So, yeah, no, I think it looks great. I'm really excited for it. July is shaping up to be next year.
2026.
2026 is shaping up to be a good year for movies.
Yeah.
so far, it looks like. But we still have half of this year to get through, so happy to have you all with us. If you like what you're hearing, give us a like, comment down below, any suggestions, any thoughts on anything that we've talked about up to this point, and we hope to have you keep listening as we continue on through the second half of the year. All right.
Thank
you for joining
us.
and we'll see you next time.
Bye.